I'm talking to John Scotcher, who's the national representative of FSC in South Africa. We're at the FSC Forum. John, tell us a little bit about your role in the past and as you've embraced FSC here in South Africa and what's been happening up to this point.
Well, the FSC internationally has been around since about 1993 and in South Africa since around 1998. Now, the FSC has two certificates, a forest management certificate and a chain of custody. Let me deal firstly with the forest management certificate. It's based on a set of internationally accepted principles and criteria, and indicators are developed around those criteria by certification bodies. By about 2000, we realized we did not have any national standard for South Africa. Let me put that in perspective, is that FSC expects each country to develop its own specific national standard, and that national standard will have indicators specific to their forest conditions. So we've gone that journey now. We've developed our standards for FSC certification at the forest management level. We're now in a situation to say, where do we go to now? Chain of custody is we believe to be the next phase in the development of FSC in South Africa. We have approximately 80 to 90% of our forest management already certified to that standard, so we see growth in the chain of custody certificate. What we're looking for at today's meeting is, what do our chain of custody certificate holders expect of the FSC in South Africa? What guidance can we give them in response to their demands? I think we must also recognize that the FSC is very much a stakeholder-driven organization. It takes its direction from its members and from its chain of custody certificate holders and its forest management certificate holders. So it's a very inclusive organization. What we're trying to do today is to add some value to the chain of custody certificates in South Africa, and of course the reason why do people want to do FSC certification, particularly around chain of custody.
And I know that there's obviously some marketing benefits from a point of view of producers and companies that have chosen to specify FSC products. But tell us a little bit about the increasing factor, which is now risk management.
That's an interesting one that's come up in debate today. I think the jury's still out on that one. But I also feel that if one looks at forest management certification in relation to risk management, we have a plethora of environmental laws in South Africa. FSC's main principle, or first principle, is compliance with environmental and social laws. We're finding in our forest management certificate holders that they very rarely these days get visited by Department of Labour officials, for example, to check on their rate of pay, living conditions, potable water, etc., etc. Because they are FSC certified. FSC is not just an environmental certificate, it's a social responsibility certificate as well. So if you're FSC certified, in terms of risk, you have already covered the base of legal compliance with all environmental and labour social laws in South Africa, which minimises your exposure to any risk.
And for the business community out there, what can they do in order to move this forward, to move FSC forward? What decisions are they capable of making and influencing the FSC program?
Ask for FSC certified products. It's as simple as that. We want to talk to the large retailers in this country. We've already spoken to government, but we need to talk further in that regard in procurement policy. So we could say to the Department of Environment Affairs, you're printing your annual reports on paper. Where did it come from? Is it FSC certified? Did it come from an imported source? Do you know the history behind the making of that paper and the timber that went into it? Was it harvested in a sustainable way? The FSC in South Africa will give you that answer straight away. So what we're trying to do is grow the demand, and through government procurement policies, as I say, the retailers, we need to talk to them and say, please won't you insist over a period of time, we're not expecting this to happen overnight, but a phased approach to the acceptance of FSC certified products. So that will be paper products, tissue products, toilet papers, solid wood products, veneers, board products like your kitchen units. We would like to see as much of that in the chain of custody, and then of course they can use that as a marketing advantage over their competitors.
Thanks so much for your efforts today at the forum and for spreading the word, and we wish you all the best with your objectives in South Africa.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you also for the opportunity to spread that word.